Make the most of your Walt Disney World vacation.
The top 6 sandwiches at Walt Disney World. Hi, I'm Herb Leibacher, and welcome to episode number 121 of the World of Walt podcast. Make the most of your Walt Disney World vacation for the week of July 16th, 2017. This is the podcast for Walt Disney World fans, whether you're planning your next trip or just enjoy reliving a little bit of Disney magic. So simple and yet so varied and delicious. 2 pieces of bread with some fun in the middle. It's been around since the late 1700s when John Montagu invented the sandwich. It seems that the good Earl of Sandwich, Mr. John Montagu, was a gambler and didn't want to miss any action at the gaming table, so necessity being the mother of invention, he came up with the world-changing invention, the sandwich. You can find plenty of unique and delicious sandwiches at Disney World, so today we're going to take a look at the top 6 sandwiches at Walt Disney World. To help me explore this topic, I'd like to welcome a man with gourmet sensibilities, Johnny Shortsleeve. Johnny, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Herb. I'm not exaggerating. This is not a joke. I'm not trying to be funny. Like, as you were kind of setting it up just now, my mouth literally was salivating so profusely. Like, it was a weird sensation. Like, wait, why is my mouth getting all watery here? We're talking about sandwiches. Of course, man.
Yes.
I'm all over this topic.
Yeah, we may have to take a break in the middle for a lunch time, but we'll see if we can make it through.
Yeah,
intermission. Yep. Well, before we get to the deliciousness of today's topic, the warm-up question: your favorite street performance at Disney World?
It's so funny because every single time you throw me these curves, and I'm trying to whoa, where's he going to go with this? And I was trying to the antithesis of sandwich. I was like, oh, is he going to do like a plate dinner kind of? No, he got me, threw me a left hook. Well, I'll give you 2. I miss Mulch, Sweat, and Shears at Disney's Hollywood Studio. Love those dudes and gals. There's one gal in there. Great show, a lot of fun. I really miss them. But right now, one that is a classic that has been around for as long as I can remember, still goes strong. Citizens of Hollywood. They do different sets all during the day over at Hollywood Studios. Usually have like a warm up or welcome kind of thing when you get to the park early, and then they will transition to a radio show, and then the next set will just be them kind of cruising around doing different things and do a second set like that, and then they'll usually wrap the day up with a joke competition, all impromptu, like content or joke topics from the audience, so it's not pre-prepared. It's a lot of fun. I think I probably talked about with issue before in the podcast. I can't beat that drum loud enough. I love Citizens of Hollywood.
Me too. They are a ton of fun. I actually got to participate in a show once, and they gave me a little medal like you would get if you ran a race. And they told me, it's like a surprise, only cheaper. It's like a prize, only cheaper. So they've got very clever people who are in the Streetmosphere characters at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Long live the Streetmosphere. I hope they're around for a long time.
My kids got a little miniature trophy from one of the bits, and it was like a little like a trophy cup, a tiny one. Yeah. And the actor is Vladimir Pui, the director. He said, "It was made from my sister. As you look on the bottom, you see she put her name, made in China."
That's funny.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I love it.
It is good stuff. Yeah. It's always something different because you never know how they're going to pull someone in. A lot of fun. That would probably be on the top of my list too, but just to pick something different, I'll probably go over to the Disney's Animal Kingdom Park and Divine. So Divine is a lady who dresses up in dark green garb with leaves all over it and is kind of elevated on sticks. And I have walked by before, and you see people sort of looking into the bushes. They're like, why are all these people looking into the bushes? Oh, never mind. I got a fast pass to get to Expedition Everest. But if you ever see people just sort of staring there, you don't have any idea what they're staring at, stop, because they may well be looking at Divine. Divine does this type of art performance. I'm not even sure what you call it. Moving very, very slowly blending into the foliage. But fascinating. I mean, you hear that it's like, oh, there's a person sitting up by the bushes. How exciting is that? But it really is interesting. So, and it's so easy to miss. So if you ever have a chance to take in Divine, or if you see people just sort of gather around looking at what appears to be nothing, stop and check out Divine at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
And another thing to add to that is when you see guests, if you're standing there and watching the performance that Divine does, to see guests who just happen upon where you're congregated, and then all of a sudden, like that surprise, like, oh my goodness, what is that? It's moving.
Yeah.
Like to see that shock, it's really kind of fun. I mean, they're not getting like scared, like, scared out of their skin, but it's startling if you don't know what to expect. And that's kind of a fun reaction to watch the guests have. But yeah, that's a lot of fun to watch Divine kind of creep through the park.
Yeah, it is. Okay, good. Today's topic, top 6 sandwiches at Walt Disney World. I'm hungry already, and number 1 is over to you.
I got a problem. My mouth's watering like really uncomfortably. I got to get a napkin or something to tie around me here. I'm drooling all over my microphone already. I haven't even started. So the first one, this is brand new, like hot off the presses, a sandwich that I just tried for the first time a couple of weeks ago. It's over at Geyser Point in Disney's Wilderness Lodge. This is the new area that they opened up. It's a little bar and grill that's right on the water. A lot of cool stuff on the menu, but the thing that really hooked me, pun intended, was the grilled salmon BLT. I'm not a mayo guy. It comes with a lemon caper mayonnaise. I don't mess with that kind of stuff. But it was nice because it came on this really nice multigrain bread, which was like really soft. And I felt like, if I'm eating bread, I want to have a whole bunch of other goodies and seeds and all that kind of stuff to make it fibrous and high in protein and all that other kind of stuff that I have no idea what it means, but I just hear people talk about it. And, typical like BLT kind of setup. Lettuce, tomato, bacon, really nice bacon, not like this flimsy stuff that you sneeze on and it blows into a million pieces, like good hearty bacon. But here's the other catch. You can get it with either this like quinoa salad kind of stuff that sounded just way too highfalutin for me, but they also had waffle fries. I said, yeah, that's right up my alley. But these aren't, if you're into like Chick-fil-A waffle fries, awesome, good for you. But these are like next level and then some waffle fries. I can't even describe the texture of this and adequately do it justice. But this was probably, not exaggerating, no hyperbole, I got to say these are my favorite French fries on property right now in a quick service spot. I know there's probably some crazy stuff that goes on in like Le Cellier with poutine and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking quick service French fries. These aren't the standard French fries you see every single spot and that serves as a hamburger. Next level stuff, insane. And then on top of that, you have the ambiance of being in that cool spot that they built that's right on the water. And they have screens that they can pull down and kind of enclose, I guess, if it's like gale force winds and rain blowing through. But the day I was there, it was, a perfect spring day. Nice and sunny and right there on the water, nice little breeze, so it kept you cool. So even if you're there on a hot day, that water off of Bay Lake is the wind off of Bay Lake is really nice and cool and relaxing. You're shaded, and they have some other cool stuff there too in terms of drinks and things like that. So cocktails and beer and wine, things like that. So it's definitely quick service gone up a bunch of notches. So that's my first pick, the grilled salmon BLT at Geyser Point.
Wow, I have to admit I have not yet been to Geyser Point, but I think you just convinced me that I need to take a research visit over there. It's tucked behind the pool, is that right?
Yeah, so it's kind of like in the walkway that goes from the main building, which is like the U-shaped building, and it goes over toward where they're building the cabins and over toward the DVC building. And it's kind of behind the pool, off to the side a little bit, and sits right on the water, like right where that marina area is. And so super quiet location, nice. I mean, and here's the thing, it's a little bit of a hike to get to if you're not staying at the Wilderness Lodge. If you have your own car, if you're a local, or if you drove there or you have a rental car, whatever, no big deal. You just go and park at the Wilderness Lodge. Or if you're at the Magic Kingdom, just hop on one of the boats. Well, they have buses too. Buses are to Wilderness Lodge are great because they run pretty quickly and they're never crowded. Or, if you're at Epcot or whatever, just grab the bus from Epcot to Wilderness Lodge and go over there and just hang out and walk around and enjoy the sights. It's not that bad once you get over there, but it's worth the trip. I hands down, probably my favorite sandwich right there.
Wow. Salmon BLT, that sounds pretty good, especially the B part of it. So I may have to go and check that out.
Yeah, and look, it's Massive Man certified. I'm a big dude, and if I say it's good, it's good. Like, I don't mess around with stuff that's highfalutin or just kind of fancy pants, whatever. It's good eating. It filled me up, and
that's some pretty high praise for the fries too.
Yeah, I know. It's they're no joke. Maybe we need to rig up a little meetup over here, like in person, to go over there and go check that out.
Deal.
Right on.
All right, that was number one. Number two is over me. I'm going to go to the Magic Kingdom and a place that's kind of easy to miss in Liberty Square. So Sleepy Hollow Refreshments. So this could probably be debated. Is this truly a sandwich or not? But I'm going to put it into the sandwich category because I think it's pretty good and I want to get it on the list. So I am going to enjoy a sweet and spicy chicken waffle. So because there is meat inside a product made from wheat or whatever it is, I'm going to say this deserves a spot on the list. So the sweet and spicy chicken waffle at Sleepy Hollow is a big Belgian waffle with a piece of fried chicken in the middle. You can't go wrong with that. And slaw, and I'm normally not a slaw guy, but the slaw works here. And there's sort of a sweet and maybe tangy Asian sauce that goes over the top of it. So it's one of these things that you might not know is there. Sleepy Hollow you might not know is there, but an Asian-inspired chicken waffle you might not know is there either. But now you do. So next time you're in the Magic Kingdom, head from the hub, take a right, and Sleepy Hollow Refreshment. Check out this waffle chicken. It's great.
What's interesting about that spot to me is that most of the time you see people walking away from it with a funnel cake in hand. And so I think it's probably easy for someone to assume that that's just like a funnel cake stand. Even though there's like little signs that they have like on the counters, and then there's the signs on the walls that say like the full menu. But normally what I'll see is, because if you think about like the walkway from the hub, like right in front of Cinderella's Castle, into Liberty Square over the bridge, I never fails. You're walking over that bridge, you see somebody like walking away from Sleepy Hollow with a hot funnel cake, like singeing their hands. But you don't see people doing that with the sandwich necessarily. And so I think those people are going around the backside where they have the little covered benches or there's a covered seating area. Then there's some open tables right there too. And I'm going to say I approve. I think even though it's a waffle, that's surefire way to call it a sandwich because it's handheld.
Yes.
There's some kind of breaded-esque thing that's holding it all together so you don't get the fried chicken goodness all over your hands.
Yeah.
Bona fide sandwich in my book. I think it fits the definition.
Okay. We'll give it a pass. And it is maybe a little bit of a messy meal, and I think that's where everybody goes and sits down behind Sleepy Hollow Refreshment, kind of next to the Hall of Presidents, because especially with the sauce and the slaw, it's a little bit of a juicy meal, but it's a good one. I like it.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Okay, that was number 2. Number 3, Johnny, back to you.
Okay. Prior to a few weeks ago, this was my number 1. The salmon BLT kind of threw this one back down to the silver medal spot. The Aloha Pork Sandwich at Captain Cook's in Disney's Polynesian Village Resort and Bungalows and whatever else is on the name now. It's a mile long.
Yeah.
This is a cool spot. It's easy accessible from the Magic Kingdom. You just hop on a little boat or a monorail and get over there. It's no big deal. It's nice and quiet. Great little lunch spot. Dinner spot too, especially if you're an annual pass holder, you get a discount over there right now. Here's the thing with this one. It's on this amazing like coconut bread. It's not, if you're not coconut adverse, don't freak out. It's It's nice. It has a great texture. It's nice soft bun. But this really, really nicely seasoned pulled pork was kind of like a sweeter version of barbecue sauce, and I guess kind of closer to what the Hawaiians or the Polynesians would do in their like Kahlua pork or Kahlua pig, kind of burying it in the ground with banana leaves kind of deal. Nice sweet sauce, great. It's a fairly lean cut of pork that they're using, so it's not super fatty and chewy and nasty like sometimes you might get with a pulled pork sandwich. But here's the secret move. By default, it seems like they want to serve it with fries, which, you know what, they're okay. The fries are just the standard fries. But here's the secret move. Ask them for the chips instead. And what they do, excuse me, is they'll give you this mix of like house-made, like, you know, you can tell these are like made in-house potato chips, like they're a little bit thicker cut and not so perfect like they came off of an assembly line in a factory. And he also makes it in like some like crispy wontons, like you put in like wonton soup and a couple other like little things that kind of, so it's a mixture of kinds of crispy chips that they throw in there with it. And it's a really good, solid sandwich, something that will fill you up no problem. And, you know, obviously you're right around the corner from the little Dole Whip stand there. So if you need to, you know, get a little dessert there, it's nice to just walk around there and grab a Dole Whip with little or no weight as opposed to what you do at the Magic Kingdom. And here's the warning, though. I like eating inside at Captain Cook's, you know, air conditioning, all this and that. It's really nicely decorated in there. So I like eating inside. The challenge with outside, even if it's a beautiful day, is there's a lot of birds around there on the outside. So what happens is inevitably people like to feed the birds. Evidently, Mary Poppins told them it's okay to do that. And they'll throw fries at them. And like, so those birds that hang out there are like addicted to French fries. And I've had them dive bomb the table before. And one took a fry off of my daughter's plate one time. Wow. And I said, all right, that's it. No more eating outside of Captain Cook's. We got to go inside. But here's the thing. I mean, don't panic and don't say, well, it's going to ruin the experience if I have to eat outside. That's fine. Just be careful. Don't just leave your plate sitting out and, you know, kind of hover over a little bit. Make sure the birds aren't around. If they are, just give them the stink eye and tell them to hit the bricks. But that's a great sandwich.
Wow. Aloha pork. So I am a huge fan of Captain Cook's. I think they've got, well, in the morning they got the Tonga toast, which you can get for a lot cheaper because you're getting it quick service. Mm-hmm. The meals in the evenings, they've got an amazing meatball, at least they used to, dish that I really liked. I think it was coconut as well. Mm-hmm. I have not had the Aloha pork, but it sounds great. And I have had some of the chips that you're talking about, which are really good. These, I think they must be made either in the kitchen or somewhere locally. It's not something they dumped out of a bag. It's something that got cooked close by. So Captain Cook's is a great spot, and Aloha pork sounds terrific.
Yeah, and it's a great, I mean, easy to get to even if you're not staying at the Polynesian. So don't hear that and go, oh, it's so far away. It's very easily accessible from the Magic Kingdom or any other park that you're at. Just grab the bus from over there to the Polynesian, and it's worth it. It's a nice place to go walk through and just do a little sightseeing and enjoy the property there. Absolutely,
yeah, it's a great spot. Okay, that was a good number 3. Number 4 is back over to me. I'm going to go to Disney Springs, and a place that I didn't visit for a long time because I always thought the line was too long. And I'm talking about the Earl of Sandwich. It almost always is the case that the line in there is filling up all the switchbacks and sometimes almost poking out the door. And I saw that year after year, and I thought, I can't imagine any sandwich is worth waiting in a line that long. But the good news is that the line moves very, very quickly. They've got a lot of people working behind the counter. And I have discovered what might be my favorite sandwich of all times. There was a time in the history of the Earl sandwich when this particular offering was not available all year round, but now it is. And I am talking about my much beloved holiday turkey sandwich. So turkey and stuffing and gravy, even though I'm not much of a gravy guy, there's just enough to give it some extra moisture with some cranberry and some seasoned mayonnaise. So I am a big stuffing guy, and the concept of putting stuffing on a sandwich sounds like bread on bread, too much, but it's not. Holiday turkey is my favorite sandwich at Walt Disney World, probably. and a really good choice. So if you're at Disney Springs, don't let the long line deter you at Earl Sandwich. Get in the line. It moves pretty quickly. And check out a holiday turkey. You will be glad you did.
And you didn't mention the price. It's darn cheap, like $6 or something like that.
Yeah. Earl Sandwich is a bargain on Disney property. Absolutely. Yeah.
And, the funny thing about that is I'm a huge fan of that sandwich, too. I love it. And Publix, for those of you who don't know, like the chain, the grocery store chain Publix, has a great deli sandwich that they set up in their stores. And this past holiday season, they started selling a holiday turkey sandwich. And I saw the sign. I was like, I wonder if it's just going to be like Earl Sandwich. Let me go try it out. So I order one, and the guy's making it, and he's getting ready to wrap it up. He goes, anything else? And I said, where's the gravy? He goes, what do you mean, where's the gravy? I said, where's the gravy? This is not a holiday turkey sandwich, not a gravy.
Yeah.
And he's looked at me like I was an idiot. And I thought, man, I'm such an Earl Sandwich mode. Like, they kind of spoiled me.
Yeah.
And I thought, I guess I'm going to go buy a jar of gravy and dump it on there. like a good American would.
Of course.
Yeah, I want to.
It would be an affront to Thanksgiving if you didn't.
Yeah, I don't want to disrespect the Stars and Stripes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. I mean, for the deal, you're right. The line does move quickly. It's I don't even know how it is such a good deal. Earl Sandwich, folks, if you're listening, sorry, your prices are perfect. Now stop listening. All right, they're gone. Yeah, it's amazing how cheap it is.
Yeah.
Because everyone talks about the price of food, especially Disney Springs. It's become a spot where there's so many higher end restaurants now, and I guess that's probably part of the reason why Earl Sandwich is so popular too. Not only is it good, but it's amazingly affordable.
Yep. Agree. And they have drink stations where you can get refills, which is a bonus. They have a nice selection of sides, so you can get chips or potato salad or some other things that come in little plastic containers. Earl Sandwich, I'm a big fan. And
let me clarify that soda thing. So you know how people make those things, what are they called, suicides, where they just go down and go down the line and just put a little bit of each one in there?
Yeah.
That they have the old school soda machine there, not the Coke Freestyle machine, which I am not a fan of. And let me 20-second rant. This wouldn't be a podcast with me if it wasn't a rant involved. How many times have you stood behind somebody at the Coke Freestyle machine and they're standing and going, oh my goodness, there's 57 varieties of Mr. Pibb here. Like, which one do I want?
Yeah.
And that cranks the line back so far because they're trying to think, well, do I want a pomegranate, cherry, raspberry blast Mr. Pibb or just the regular? I don't want the regular. And, people are just standing there staring at the screen. So when I hear a restaurant having its own soda fountain, I think, I hope it's not a Coke Freestyle. I hope it's just a regular one.
I am with you on this rant. And so Coca-Cola people, if you're considering sponsoring the World of Walt podcast, let me know. But stop listening now.
We love it.
Yeah.
We love the freestyle machine. It's awesome. I can't believe how you did it. It's amazing technology.
I just don't think those flavorings that they add in taste right. And I remember reading where they used sort of pharmaceutical processes to shrink down the amount of volume the flavor would need so they could have all these different flavors in there. And to me, the flavors just don't taste right. Like I guess if I'm going to go to the freestyle machine, give me a plain old Coke because you put the cherry and the vanilla in there, which I like cherry and vanilla. It just doesn't taste right. So I'm not a freestyle guy either. Sorry, Mr. Coca-Cola and all the people in Atlanta. I apologize.
Yeah, the Pepsi people right now wringing their hands. How can we get this market share back?
Yes. And Pepsi people, if you would like to sponsor the World of Walt podcast, give me a call. So,
yeah, we love you, Pepsi.
Yeah. All right. That was the rant for the day. So Earl Sandwich, don't be put off by the line. Go and get the holiday turkey. That's number 4 on our list. Number 5 is back to you, Johnny.
All right. I think I've talked to you about this before. I have a very extensive history in academia with the French language. And so this next sandwich is going to require me to really dig back into all my training with learning French. This is over at Epcot's France Pavilion. As you can see, it's already getting revved up.
Good job.
The name of the sandwich is the Brie Aux Pommes at the Les Halles Boulangerie Patisserie. How'd you like that? Was that pretty good?
And all the French people have blood coming out of their ears right now. But
oh, they love it. They love it. All right, so let me give you the scoop on this one. I know I've lost major man points talking about eating salmon and not, like a burger. I think I got some back with the pork sandwich. This one's definitely going to make me lose a lot of man points, but I like it because they have some amazing bread at that little bakery there in the back corner of the France Pavilion in Epcot. This one's got some like a thick slab of brie cheese and some apples and some cranberries, and it's on this really nice multigrain bread. I like it because it's packed with flavor, so it's not just like this bland cheese sandwich. It's something that's it's rich, it's interesting, it's got good texture, good flavor balance. It sounds like I know what I'm talking about here for a second. And but here's the thing too, I like it because it's not super heavy. And when you're out traipsing through the parks in the middle of the day, if it's hot out, you feel kind of lousy after really hunkering down to a huge, heavy meal, and especially like Epcot, where there's a lot of walking that's involved with Epcot, unless you're on like a Segway or something. Which, by the way, it's 2017. Why aren't we all on Segways now? I thought by now walking would be done. We'd just be scooting around.
Elon Musk, are you listening? Take care of that.
Yeah,
for
what's
us.
going on? Go ahead and buy that company and get it going right. It's failing. It's enough, like it's a good hearty meal. Like you feel full after eating it, but you don't feel like you need to go lay down and catch a nap. So I like it because it's different also, because it's not just a burger or a hot dog or some standard thing that you see everywhere. It's something that's kind of a unique experience. And that's a cool little area in there where you can kind of sit in the covered area if you can get a spot. If it's on a busy day, it's hard. Otherwise, there's some little tables outside the little restaurant area. So that's my pick. Let me hit, because I know people love hearing. French is such a beautiful language. It sounds so amazing. The Brie aux Pommes at Le Hal's Boulangerie Patisserie. Take note, everybody. That's how it's done.
There you go. Drop the mic and walk away.
Yeah.
Yes. The patisserie is I think a hidden gem in Epcot's World Showcase. They've got all kinds of great things, and the fact that you get to say it in French, I think, makes it even more fun. So who wants to say ham and cheese when you can say croque monsieur? Like, ooh, that sounds like very fancy, But I've not had the sandwich with brie, but brie is going to make any sandwich good. So it's now on my list too. I've got a new list of things I have to do now after our podcast today.
Hey, man. And just to add to that, the French folk are probably the most accommodating to having Americans try to speak their language. Yeah. That's my experience. I mean, that's just me.
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Just nowhere.
They love it. Yeah. They love it. They embrace it.
Okay, let's get out of France quick and let's get back to some good old
France.
Yeah, if your nose is stuffed up, it's even better when you do it. Let's get back to some good old American barbecue. I'm going over to Disney's Animal Kingdom, and I'm going to go to Flame Tree Barbecue. Now, the issue with my choice here is that when I go to Flame Tree Barbecue, it is hard for me not to order the ribs. The ribs there are awesome. They are wonderful, but it is a very big meal to eat. So if I'm not go up for a full plate of ribs at Flame Tree, my backup is the barbecued pork sandwich. It is a pretty good deal, and in these days it's around $9. I think comes with coleslaw, and just like the pulled pork or pork at Captain Cook's, I think the pork sandwich at Flame Tree is a really good choice. So if you can resist the ribs, check out the pork sandwich.
You know why I resist? I like ribs, but you know why I don't get the ribs there? Is because usually I'm eating lunch there after having gone on the safari, on Kilimanjaro safari, and I feel like I just saw these amazing, majestic animals, and now I'm looking at a rack of ribs going, a beautiful animal I saw. Now I'm eating one. I feel bad. I feel like I want like a falafel sandwich or something. It's vegetarian.
Fruit bowl, please.
You think, you think there'd be more, like it would be mostly vegetarian options in the animal kingdom food. But it's funny because I had a meeting recently with somebody, and I said, "Well, where do you want to go? Let's go. Want to get some lunch?" And the person said, "I know a great sushi spot right down the street from SeaWorld." And I thought, that should be illegal. Like, you shouldn't be able to get a permit from the county to put up a sushi restaurant right down the street from SeaWorld.
Yeah.
And same thing. I don't know. Just call me crazy. Like, you never know where that, just you see these majestic animals just roaming the safari, and then you see this otherwise beautiful rack of ribs. It's still bad. But yeah, the pulled pork's good.
Well, the fun thing about Flame Tree, sometimes it's a little disturbing if you think about it too much. But if you look at the decor, it's all animals eating other animals, which I think is perfect for a rib joint. But
that's the brilliance of Joe Rohde. Like, he saw that as being like, hey, we need to have this. It's circle of life kind of thing.
Exactly.
But let's throw them off the track. Not so much thinking about them eating the animals. Let's just say, the animals, they eat each other. Why don't you go and eat them too?
They gave us an example. We just followed it, and it's worth another notch in my earlobe for doing that. So, yes.
I joked with somebody, said, after I rode Frozen, the Frozen ride in Epcot for the first time, I said, gosh, the animatronics are just amazing on this. Can you imagine if we could reanimate Walt Disney and bring him back here to see this ride? And just it'd blow him away. And then at the end of the ride, we go introduce him to Joe Rohde and say, hey, this is what cast members can wear now. Look at this earring, Walt. Like, I wonder what would blow his mind more, the audio animatronics and the Frozen Ever After ride, or Joe Rohde's earring.
Yeah, it's hard to say which.
We love you, Joe.
Yeah, that's
respect.
Right. And if you are sponsoring, and if WD or listening, and WDI would like to sponsor the World of Walt podcast, give me a call. Oh, good list. I'm famished now, even though I'm not really that hungry, but because I want to try all these different things, and I've got a new list of things I have to check out. So number 1, the salmon BLT, Geyser Point. Number 2, the sweet and spicy chicken waffle at Sleepy Hollow. Number 3, the Aloha pork sandwich at Captain Cook's. Number 4, holiday turkey at Earl of Sandwich. People, get the holiday turkey at Earl of Sandwich. Number 4, the Brie Ox Pommies.
Nailed it.
Fred's Pavilion. And number 6, the barbecued pork sandwich at Flame Tree Barbecue. Johnny, as always, fun list, and a list that makes me very hungry. If people are interested in what you're up to or what you're interested in, how can they find that out, or what would you like to share?
Oh, cool. Well, thanks, Herb. Yeah, I don't feel right, trying to pedal my own wares right now. You've been so kind to let me hang out with you and talk about this stuff. But I'll tell you what I will do. I found out about this organization here. It's local in the Orlando area. It's called New Hope for Kids. And that's actually the website too, newhopeforkids.org. It's a really interesting thing because what they do is they work with kids who are grieving from a loss. And when I was younger, I had some friends lived across the street from me at the time, and the father passed away very suddenly, and he had 3 young kids, and I saw what happened. I mean, those kids, they were all elementary school age at the time when it happened. It was a really sad thing, but they had a good support network of people around that helped them. This is an organization here in the Orlando area that does it. Newhopeforkids.org. If you are local, want to see what they're about and see if you might be able to help, if you have some special skills that might be able to lend to an organization like that. If you're not local and you have an interest or that you have a story like I do with respect to knowing a family who's been affected by something like this, check and see, because I guarantee that there's probably a local organization that is doing that right now and help out. It's unfortunately one of those things that people don't talk about because you have to tread very lightly with these situations. Unfortunately, you don't want to be too intrusive, but there's a need and there's some healing that goes on that we as adults have a lot of trouble to endure, but as a child, it's exponential what they have to go through. So, newhopeforkids.org, check that out.
Wow, I have not heard of that organization though. So thank you for sharing the information on it. Good to know.
Yeah, man, right on.
Okay, Johnny, as always, it was a ton of fun. I appreciate your spending some time with me, and thanks for doing that.
Cool. Well, thanks for having me, Herb. And I literally, if you can hear me, like I'm slurring my speech because I got drool dripping out of me. I don't know. I got to go to the doctor or something, see what's going on, or get a sandwich.
It's time for a meal.
Evidently.
Today we head out to the music of Disney Springs, and we have made it through the list of the top 6 sandwiches at Walt Disney World. However, our conversation does not have to be over. I'd like to hear what you think. Do you have something you'd like to add to the list? You can do that by visiting the show notes page at worldofwalt.com/121, a page that works well on tablets, desktops, and smartphones. Leave your comments in the comments section and check out what other people think as well. I'd like to thank everyone who's been in touch, and I'd like to invite you to follow me on social media, facebook.com/worldofwalt and pinterest.com/worldofwalt. If you like today's podcast, I would love it if you would spread the word. Tell your family and your friends about it. Today, as always, I would like to wrap up by thanking you for spending some of your time with me. I'd also like to thank everyone who visits the worldofwalt.com site, where you can read interesting Disney articles and chat with other folks in the comments sections. By listening here and by visiting the site, you allow me to share the fun of Disney with you, and that is very cool. Thank you for being a part of it. So until next time, my friend, may God bless you.
So there's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day. There's a great